Have you ever opened your engine's workshop manual and just felt completely overwhelmed? It feels like it's written in some ancient secret language, right? Well, today we're going to crack that code. We are going to turn that intimidating brick of a book into your single most powerful tool on the water.
So picture this. You're out on the water, it's a perfect day, and then it happens. That little engine warning light flicks on. Your heart kind of sinks, doesn't it? Your engine is trying to tell you something's wrong, but what? What is it saying? Well, the answer, of course, is right here. It's buried somewhere in this monster 477-page document. So the problem isn't that you don't have the information. The problem is you have way too much of it, and it's impossible to sort through when you're stressed out on the water. Yeah, this whole manual can feel like it's written in a foreign language, full of technical jargon and weird codes. But here's the secret. That's exactly what it is. It's a language. And today, we're handing you the translation key. By the end of this, you'll be speaking fluent engine. Okay, so let's start with the absolute basics. You have to understand that your engine has a way of thinking, and it has a way of talking. To get the manual, you first have to get how the engine itself communicates. First up is the ECM, or the engine control module. The easiest way to think about this, it's the engine's brain. Seriously. It's constantly running diagnostics on itself, checking all the critical systems, making sure everything is A-OK. So what happens when the brain, the ECM, finds a problem? Well, it needs to tell you about it. It needs a voice. And that voice comes in the form of a DTC, a diagnostic trouble code. This isn't just some vague, hey, something's wrong message. It's a super specific code that pinpoints the exact issue. Now, before we get any deeper into fixing things, the manual makes one thing incredibly clear, and so are we: safety. The very first pages of these books are always dedicated to safety warnings, and trust me, they are not just there for lawyers. Ignoring this stuff can have, well, really serious consequences. The manual breaks it down into 4 levels. Danger isn't a suggestion. It means a situation that will cause serious injury or death. Warning means it could. Caution is for minor injuries, and important is about preventing damage to your boat. Knowing these at a glance is your absolute first line of defense. You still think it's just boring fine print? Get a load of this. This is a direct quote from a manual. It's talking about what happens if certain rubber seals overheat. They can create hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid. This isn't a hypothetical risk. This is a real, tangible danger the manual is helping you avoid. So please read these warnings. Okay, with safety covered, let's get to the engine's core logic. The real beauty of a good workshop manual is that it takes these incredibly complex machines and boils everything down to a few simple fundamental truths. And here they are, the big 3, the holy trinity of why an engine runs. It needs compression, it needs spark, and it needs fuel. I guarantee you almost every single troubleshooting checklist for an engine that won't start or is running rough begins by figuring out which one of these 3 things is missing. It's the engine's basic DNA. All right, let's talk details. You're working on something. You drop a bolt, it's gone forever. We've all been there. And you think, whatever, I'll just run down to the hardware store and grab one that fits. How much could that possibly matter? Well, according to the manual, it matters a whole lot. So why does it matter so much? Take a look. These 2 bolts might look identical, but the tiny numbers stamped on their heads tell a completely different story. The manual shows an 8.8 class bolt can handle about 120,000 psi of force. That 10.9 bolt, it can handle 150,000 psi. That's a 25% difference in strength. Using the wrong one isn't saving a few cents. You're engineering a future failure. Okay. We've covered safety, we've covered the fundamentals, and we've covered the details. Now let's put it all together. Let's translate a real message from the engine's brain and turn that cryptic code into a clear plan of action, exactly like the manual teaches us to. So the warning light is on. You hook up a simple diagnostic tool, and this is the code the ECM's brain gives you, DTC0337. Right now, it's just a number. It's a piece of code. On its own, it's totally meaningless. But then you flip open your manual to the DTC section, find 0337, and boom, there's your translation, crankshaft sensor loss. Okay, now we're talking. We know what the engine is complaining about. The mystery is solved. But now, what do we actually do? And this is where the manual becomes your absolute best friend. It's not just a dictionary, it's a roadmap. It gives you a logical, step-by-step process. And notice the flow here. It starts with the absolute simplest thing. Just look at the connector. Is it corroded? Is it loose? Then it moves on to simple electrical tests. It's a professional process designed to stop you from just guessing and throwing parts at a problem.
You see what we just did? This is about so much more than fixing one problem. We've actually adopted a completely new mindset. The engine isn't some mysterious black box anymore, and the manual is no longer some scary, unreadable book. They're just a system of communication.
So from now on, I want you to think of your manual as your own personal decoder ring. And here's how to use it. 1. Safety first, always. 2. Always think back to the fundamentals. Is it a compression, spark, or fuel problem? 3. Remember that the tiny details, like bolt strength, really do matter. And 4. Use those fault codes. They are your logical starting point that turns a total mystery into a clear, actionable plan. You now have the tools to translate. You've gone from being intimidated by a giant book to understanding its language. You've moved from mystery to mastery. So the only question left is, the next time that little light comes on, what is your engine going to tell you?